Richard Schuler, better known as Richard Hart, was born into a poor family in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Despite facing limited resources and no influential connections, Richard defied the odds and rose to prominence, becoming a beacon of inspiration as a true rags to riches success story. A poor boy who transformed into a trailblazer with multiple successful businesses, amassing a staggering net worth of $500 million. However, beneath this veneer of success, a hidden darkness lurked, shrouded in whispers of legal troubles and shadowy association. As Richard's name echoed through the corridors of power, rumors of involvement in a mysterious criminal network in Panama began to surface, casting doubt on the authenticity of his public persona. In this gripping tale of ambition and wealth, layers of deception unfold, revealing the steep costs one must pay to ascend to such heights. Join us as we embark on a journey into the story of Richard Hart, the founder of HEX, where success and virtue intertwine with the murky shadows of deception. Before becoming the infamous Richard Hart we know today, he was known by his birth name, Richard Schuler. Born on October 9th, 1979, into a humble family in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, young Richard accompanied his dad, who worked as a newspaper salesman during his delivery services. As he grew older, Richard joined his father in repairing air conditioners. Despite his circumstances, his brilliance shone through, but with it came a ruthless determination to achieve success at any cost. During his elementary years, Richard's intellectual abilities led to him being transferred to a special school for gifted children after just 2 days in regular school. However, life didn't become easy for Richard. He faced bullying from his classmates for not being able to afford lunch and using free lunch vouchers at school. Yet, beneath his apparent vulnerability, Richard harbored a relentless ambition to ascend the ladder of success, no matter who got hurt along the way. Richard persevered and earned a spot in the prestigious MEGSS Advanced Middle School program, where he learned advanced topics like scheme programming, the most powerful programming language in the world. One day, after witnessing his friend's computer business in their basement, Richard decided to venture into an at-home car stereo business and later branched out by building a shopping cart platform, which he later sold. This spark of inspiration ignited a flaming passion for business within him. As time passed, Richard connected with his colleagues, sharing business ideas and forging connections with like-minded individuals. Little did they know, behind Richard's facade of friendship was a calculated desire to exploit opportunities for personal gain, leading him down a path of deceit, scandal, and betrayal. Richard's decision to connect with like-minded individuals and share business ideas has indeed proven to be a successful strategy. He claims to have amassed enormous wealth through ventures like starting a mortgage company, earning a staggering $60 million per year, which allowed him to retire and travel the world. At first glance, his journey from rags to riches appears as an inspiring tale, a beacon of hope in the modern world. However, beneath the glittering facade of success lies a complex web of deceit and manipulation, with his first surfacing one fateful day in 2002. On March 26, 2002, a shocking revelation came when Bennett Hazeltoe, Peacefires.org's webmaster, sued Richard Schuler along with 2 others for breaking Washington state law. Unclassified documents from the case exposed Richard's shady practices. It was revealed that he sent unsolicited commercial messages that bore deceptive information such as forged return email address or misleading subject lines. But this was just the beginning. As time went on, the cracks in Richard's carefully crafted mask started to widen, revealing a darker and more sinister side to his operation. As time passed, the news about Richard Schuler started fading away, leaving him seemingly forgotten and his actions shrouded in mystery. However, in September 2007, the tranquility was shattered when a disturbing headline emerged. Richard James Schuler, friggin' spam king. The article by Don Winner from PanamaGuy.com revealed a much sinister side to Richard's operation. In a detailed expose, the article shed light on Richard's operation in the country. He had strategically established call centers in Panama, exploiting the economic conditions and availability of low-cost labor. These call centers became the backbone of Richard's spamming empire. In one of his spam courses, he shamelessly claimed, "My name is Richard Schuler. I'm a 23-year-old multimillionaire and I'm inviting you to learn how to spam millions of people per day like I do. I operate my own online pharmacy business and it's the single largest spam email marketing company in the world today." But Richard's shady activities didn't stop there. Resurfaced screenshots from a Google Groups post by Miguel Antonio Bernal described Richard Schuler as part of a new breed of thieves evading American law by seeking refuge in Panama. His devious ways extended beyond spamming. In Panama, Richard and his associates took advantage of the country's lax judicial system to rob, cheat, and blackmail local businessmen. The most troubling aspect of it all was that Richard seemed to have gotten away with his misdeeds, escaping accountability for his actions. He then laid low for a few years, only to re-emerge with a new identity, this time as a thought leader in the world of cryptocurrency, the anti-Bitcoin, and the creator of HEX. In 2018, a new persona emerged from the shadows, introducing Richard Hart, the philanthropist, financial guru, and a self-proclaimed thought leader in the crypto industry. On his website, Richard described him as a force for good, enticing visitors with a carefully crafted sob story about his challenging past, followed by heartfelt testimonials of people thanking Richard for changing their lives. However, beneath the surface of compassion and altruism, a sinister plot was unfolding. Richard had created a new scam, the HEX token, the first blockchain certificate of deposit, supposedly rewarding investors on average of 40% of interest every single year. To the average person, HEX seemed like an opportunity for financial growth and security, but Richard had meticulously designed the project to deceive unsuspecting investors. The staking scheme was particularly insidious, penalizing those who terminated their stakes too early. Investors who did so risked losing all of their capital, effectively trapping their funds in the scheme. But the deception didn't stop there. HEX also leveraged basic human psychology to its advantage. For instance, if an investor staked their funds for a certain period and then forgot about it, they would return after some time to find that their HEX balance had dwindled to zero. This was because HEX penalized 0.143% of the user's capital every day after a 2-week grace period, essentially draining their investment over time. To draw in more unsuspecting investors, Richard launched a relentless marketing campaign. He began by creating baseless accusations against Bitcoin, even confronting Craig Wright, who claimed to be Bitcoin's founder, in public to create a spectacle. Through various social media platforms, he gradually built a massive following and gathered a devoted shilling army at his disposal. Richard engaged his followers in persuasive conversations, subtly convincing them that HEX was their ticket to financial freedom. He made manipulative claims like, HEX is better for the environment than Bitcoin, HEX mining is more censorship resistant than Bitcoin, and HEX gives the little guys a chance, massive whales own Bitcoin. Under the illusion of generational wealth and staking for delayed gratification, thousands of people, affectionately known as Hexicans, fell prey to Richard's trap and staked their money in his fraudulent scheme. As Richard's empire continued to grow, he expanded his reach even further. Between July 2021 and March 2022, he launched a sister project called the Pulse Chain with a sketchy sacrificial phase start. Users were asked to donate their crypto or fiat currency in exchange for PLS tokens, raising over $700 million. This was followed by yet another project called the Pulse X, which had a similar sacrificial phase, requiring users to sacrifice crypto or fiat assets in exchange for sacrifice points. Richard's loyal army of Hexicans remained steadfast in defending him. Despite doubts and suspicions about his intentions, he managed to evade blatant illegality, leaving many to wonder if he was genuinely a bad person or simply a charismatic leader misunderstood by others. However, as the story unfolds, the nature of Richard Hart's new frontier would be exposed, revealing the devastating consequences of his deception on countless unsuspecting investors. Unsurprisingly, the very first cracks in HEX disguise appeared in the initial months of its creation. Allegations of recycled Ethereum tokens being used to artificially inflate HEX's price started surfacing, raising suspicions about the project's legitimacy. Yet, uncertainty surrounded these claims. However, on January 9th, 2020, a disturbing headline shattered the silence. 48,000 Ethereum emptied from HEX flush address, as reported by Robert Johnson from Crypto Daily. Approximately $7 million worth of Ethereum had been swiftly drained from HEX's flush address over a couple of days. This all carried out through 36 different transactions, each containing 1,337 Ethereum. As the years passed, numerous other accusations emerged, but Richard Hart's grip on the Hexicans remained strong. His devoted devoted followers vigorously defended him against any critique, and probably this video as well. Amidst the ongoing battle between the Hexicans and critics, Richard Hart flaunted his extravagant lifestyle on social media, showcasing a seemingly endless array of expensive designer clothes, jewelry, luxury watches, and high-end automobiles. His insatiable appetite for extravagance knew no bounds, as he spent a jaw-dropping $7.2 million on crazy purchases, including a white Ferrari Roma and a $550,000 Daytona Eye of the Tiger. However, HEX's inevitable downfall had already begun on March 23, 2023. The once soaring HEX token experienced an abrupt and devastating price drop, plummeting by a staggering 90% from its all-time high. The crash continued, and by August 2023, the token's price had plunged to 98%. Pulse Chain and Pulse X, once touted as the next big thing, now lay in ruins, their value reduced to mere scrap. Hexicans watched helplessly as their hard-earned money vanished into thin air, leaving them penniless and betrayed. In a twist of fate, karma seemed to finally catch up with Richard Hart. While he indulged in his lavish lifestyle, the SEC was hot on his tracks, carefully watching and taking notes of his movement. And then, at last, they finally had enough evidence to take him to court. A press release from the SEC on July 31st, 2023 sent shockwaves through the crypto world, exposing shocking charges against Richard Hart. He stood accused of illegally raising $1 billion through his unregistered cryptocurrencies and misappropriating $12.1 million of investor funds to fuel his extravagant lifestyle. As the result unfolded, a single burning question remained. Would justice finally be served, or would the power and influence of the rich prevail once more? In this gripping finale, the fates of HEX, its investors, and Richard Hart are all laid bare, promising a resolution to this tale of deception and its aftermath. With each revelation, the dark secrets of HEX founder Richard Hart continue to be unveiled as the SEC's pursuit of justice closes in.